So as another week rolls round, we've got our meal planned for the week. Tonight we're having the salmon, chicken and the sausage casserole will both be done in the slow cooker. I'm going to do a roast on Thursday when Martin's away, so I shall have some Thursday night and we'll have the remainder of it Friday. Saturday we'll have burgers. Sunday I am totally undecided. So in fact I've just thought, yes, we might have meatballs. So let me put that on the board. Meatballs with the lamb. There we go. So that's this week's meals. Oops. All sorted. And the shopping list this week, all we've got is cream. Can't think of anything else that I need. So also I've been working on a to-do list. This is my to-do list, so I can wipe off all what has been done. You see, I've still got minced garlic there to do. Big stack of garlic. So I'm going to wipe all them off, and then I shall write on what jobs. I shall leave those that I haven't done, but I shall write up some new jobs that I'd like to get done this coming week. Okay, new list is done. Prune the grape internal one, that's actually in a carryover from this last week. I started it but I didn't finish it. Egg stand at the end of the drive, got a new egg stand to do. Some more supers on the beehives. Trim, cut down all the grass, weeds, etc. in the orchard area where the beehives are. Feed the tomatoes and citrus. That is a weekly job and I do it on Thursdays, but if I don't write it down, I do forget. Stain the tool shed, stain the cabin, stain the poultry houses. That's a job I'm wanting to get done this summer, so that might be carrying on for a few weeks. Set up a new carrot bed, plant out the peas, weed the hoop growing area, clean out poultry houses. Again, that is a weekly job. Clean down the end of polytunnel 3, which I mentioned in my last video I wanted to do. So I'm having a bit of an infestation of white cabbage caterpillars. Clean out the boy goats. That's a Thursday job. I shall get my helper who comes in on Thursday to do that because it's all got to be loaded onto the tractor. Weed the... And I just want to say about the goats, yeah, I don't clean out their houses every week. It's usually about once a month this time of year because they're not in it a lot. It's not getting really wet. So providing I'm poo picking in there every day, then it's okay. Weed the back garden. Now the builders are finished, I need to get all of that sorted. Well, the builders temporarily finished out there. New plants potted up. I've got some new plants out there I want to get into pots. Turn the compost heap. Again, that might be a job that I do on a Thursday because I'm going to need a bit of help. It's a big heavy job to do. And of course I've still got the garlic to mince. So that is on this week's list. And it actually gives me a lot of satisfaction crossing them off as I've done them, or been crossing them off and seeing that jobs are getting done, because otherwise you sort of think, you know, I'm not actually getting anything done here. But I do like writing up lists and being able to cross things off. Right, I'm heading up to the alpaca field here, or where the alpacas do their dust bathing, and I am sprinkling a load of DE, Dictymantus earth powder, in their dust bath area. And as you can see, the alpacas are coming straight up to see it. DE powder to alpacas is like catnip to cats. They absolutely love it, and they just love rolling around in it. But it's very beneficial to them. It helps to keep fleas, mites, lice, anything like that at bay, and they'll just roll around in it and completely coat themselves in the dust and in the DE powder. We also add DE powder to their feed at least once a week, and it helps again to keep internal parasites down. But the alpacas, as you can see, they've been sheared as well, so it's of more benefit to them. The DE powder is of more benefit to them as after they've been shorn, because it can really get straight in to deal with any issues that they might have. And yeah, they just love it. I'm working away here, getting some of the weeds up along the pathway in the hooped outside vegetable area. This area is where I specifically grow anything that wants to climb, because I can train it up over the hoops. The pathways are all wood chips, but they do succumb to a lot of weeds. So one of my jobs this week was to get all these weeds out. The weeds then go to the goats, who will pick through them and eat the majority of them. So nothing really goes to waste, and when the goats are finished, it's all just gathered up and rots down and goes back into the soil. So it's just the circle of life. I'm cutting out the vinyl to put on the new egg stand at the end of the drive. I do use the vinyl cutter quite a bit, and it's been a good investment. Egg stand all finished and in place, with a list of what we have in the shop as well. Right, today being Tuesday, it's sausage casserole tonight, and I've already browned the sausages. They're our own ones, our own pork sausages, so they're going to go in. These orders are just a plain pork. Let's get some of that. Canned tomatoes from last year, trying to get them all used up. There's a bit of skin there, let's whip that out. Trying to get them used up before we start harvesting and preserving this year's. Peppers from the freezer from last year, same thing. Red onions from the freezer again from last year. So this is all just going into the slow cooker. There's some mushrooms from the bottom of the fridge. Let's throw all them in. And a bit of tomato puree. Okay. 29p, I believe that is, from the supermarket. And I have lots of packets of different casseroles, sauces and all that in the pantry that I've bought when they've been on special offer. And I think this was 19p, and this is a Schwartz sausage casserole. So I'm trying to get these used up as well, and I just add them to the slow cooker. In fact, the Swartz I find are not too bad because there's no artificial colours or flavourings in it, and when you look through the ingredient list, if I put my glasses on, it is spices, dried onion, dried garlic, paprika, chili pepper, black pepper, cumin. There is some wheat flour, which has got calcium, iron and vitamin B3 in, and vitamin B1, modified starch, tomato powder, red bell pepper, sugar, which is right down the bottom of the list, so there's only a tiny bit of sugar in it, oregano, basil, and a bit of salt. And when I look at what the sugars are, it's got it per 100 grams, and that's 35 grams. So yeah, so there isn't anything bad in it, is what I'm trying to say. So the Schwartz flavourings, they're just handy to have, and yeah, that's how I've got quite a lot of them in the pantry. I've got a whole box full of them in the pantry. So, and I used one yesterday with the chicken. I did a paprika chicken casserole in the slow cooker, and today I'm doing the sausage casserole. So that's going to go, that's on high. It's going to come up to temperature. Once that starts to bubble away, I shall turn it down low, and then that'll be ready for this evening. Because I've got a bit of running around to do this afternoon, and then I've got a video call appointment with my surgeon early evening, so I want dinner ready to go. This week I did get the lamb bacon on the go. Here it is in the smoker, and here it is being sliced up, and with the meat slicer. So there's lots of packs of it now in the freezer, and yeah, we find the lamb bacon and the goat bacon, when I do it, very, very tasty. It is something we particularly enjoy. Harvesting the first of the tay berries. Tay berries are I believe a hybrid cross, somebody will let me know if I'm wrong, between blackberries and raspberries. They grow lovely big juicy fruits. You don't often find them in the shops, any that are going a bit, no, that one's fine. Because they don't travel very well. Once they're ripe, and you have to harvest them straight away. They do freeze very well, and they grow exceedingly well for us. They fruit on new growth, so they'll all of this will die back in winter. I have the main stem coming up there, and then I have them going out over ropes. A few, as you can see, because it's damp at the moment, are starting to turn, so I need to get as many picked as possible. But we do get a nice big harvest of them, and make a lovely jam as well. I've not tried juicing them, but they are fairly juicy, so I don't see why they wouldn't. You can just use them as you do blackberries and raspberries, really. This is our first harvest of the the year, which I'm quite pleased about. This week I've also been delving into my repair basket, and I've pulled out all the socks that need darning. I think there's about 7 socks there in total. So in the evenings I've been sitting, working through them, getting them darned up to make them usable again. I'm always very reluctant to throw out these socks. I don't know how well you can see it, but they're all a nice Fair Isle sock, and I find them very comfortable to wear. But my socks, for some reason, always go in the same place, and it's under the sole, the top part of the sole of the foot. And yeah, and it's always a shame, I get a hole there, and I don't really want to throw out the socks. Sometimes I'm going round in odd socks because I'll just pick up, the 2 good ones. So I've been working through these socks and getting them all usable again, ready for winter when they'll be needed. And it's quite an enjoyable, relaxing procedure. I'm actually using, it's called a speed weaver for darning here. You can find them on the internet. Amazon do them as well. I'll pop a link down below to the ones I've got off Amazon. I've got them in various sizes, and they can be used for repairing socks, jumpers, jeans, anything really. And I find they do give a very, very neat finish, and you can also do some fancy weaving with them as well.